So he lost 10 minutes right there. And unfortunately, he ended up taking the same route as Sloaters, so he was just constantly behind. So let's hope we get a different outcome here, get a game 3, winner take all. And they're off. Again, the winner of this match will go on to face Punk in the grand finals. The loser will play a third place match versus Kishmo. So both are going to be playing at least one more match after this. And both falling into a pit there.
Yeah, neither runner using Moonfall either.
No, I know Sloaters doesn't use it, or he's actually started to use it a little bit, but I don't think he's confident in it enough to use it in an actual race. J-Raw I don't think uses it at all. And just an E-Tank is the first item. It'd also be very interesting to see if J-Ro takes any extra chances because knowing he's behind a game already. Sloater's looking like he wanted to go down for the ammo item, then remembers, oh wait, I don't have Morph Ball yet, so I can't. J-Ro having a little bit of trouble getting that Morph Ball. He's going to reset the room, try again. And already power bombs.
Yeah, he could have waited for the, what is that, a gamer to walk all the way around the room. But maybe a little bit faster, just go ahead and reset.
Okay, now we'll see what's at the Alpha Missile spot. And we got our power bombs and our supers right away, so they might not check any more of these early ammo. Sloaters is going to check the item to the left of Morph Ball. And gets regular missiles for his troubles. A nice little mock ball getting out of that area, and J-Ro's just going to go up.
Yeah, I think that kind of represents what you're talking about earlier, as far as not necessarily such a huge gamble at that point, but just J-Ro is going to be looking for little ways to save time throughout the.
Absolutely. I mean, Sloater's movement is just so good in general that any little thing that J-Ro can do to save time is probably worth it.
Yeah, and even looking back at the last match, like Sloaters, I can remember like maybe a handful of times where Sloaters struggled with movement, but other than that, had an extremely clean run. So it's just hard to compete with that kind of movement.
Okay, let's see what that BT item is. Could be anything since we have power bombs. It's just a reserve tank. Okay, I guess seeing a few questions about the league in general. So, for those of you that haven't been watching during the regular season, basically, instead of having a tournament where people get knocked out early on, we did an 18-week league, which then got narrowed down to the top 16 playing a playoff tournament. So it was 18 weeks of getting to play no matter what, no matter how good you were. Oh, and Charge Beam early again. But yeah, we played 18 weeks. We started out with 68 players. It was whittled down a little bit as people had real life issues that always come up in these situations. But 18 weeks to get down to 16 very, very good players. Several really good players that did not make it to the playoffs. Now we're down to the final, well, really the final 3. With, again, the winner of this match going to go on to face Punk in the finals, and the loser going to go ahead and face Kishmo in the third place match. So yeah, with Charge Beam already found, I don't think we're going to see a whole lot of ammo pickups. Sloater's again gonna go do the hundo strat and pick up the item up here first. And Spazer. So again, it's a beam.
Yeah, both items were in Brinstar Game 1, interestingly enough.
But as in the last match, picking up that Spazer, not knowing for sure if and when you'll get Plasma. It's better than just the pea shooter, so. Floaters this time gets the Mock Ball out. Picks up the 1 extra missile pack. And we're head down to the Edacoons.
Oh, I guess we said Spazer 3 times, because Sephi has joined us in the chat.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to Sephi, who managed to get the moniker of the... give the moniker of the Sephi Beam. Much to, I believe, his dismay. And X-ray scope at the Edacoons, and both runners do go ahead and pick that up. They already now have 2/3 of the microwave action. We'll see if they find that plasma beam to finish that off. Jero with a very slight lead going into Big Pink. Going towards Big Pink, I should say. Not quite there yet. Switching over to Jero's music, which he tends to use a little SMU action, which we'll hear some interesting sounds here.
Sloaters wants to be a little bit careful before heading into the room with those side hoppers. Looks like he's going to check charge.
Yeah, I like that idea. Oh, and look what's that charge.
Yeah, nice very suit early.
That'll make those side hoppers easier to deal with. And Spring Ball over at the Wave Gate. Yeah, Sloater's still going to farm up a little bit before he heads into that side hopper room. And Jero picks up his Various suit. Sloater's about to pick up his Spring Ball. Okay, so Jero's going to be the first to have to make that decision of whether to go up or down. He doesn't have a good way over the moat other than you can do a spring ball jump across. There is a setup for that, or he could just do the regular CWJ. Those would be his only choices, so it looks like he's going to head down. Does not have the items for the early X-ray check to be easy, so he just skips it. I'm going to guess that Sloaters isn't going to do it either. With only 39 energy, that's a very tricky thing to do. He'd have to fill up first, and then even at full energy, that's going to be very tight. Or maybe he does do it.
What a madman.
Yeah, I don't like this play from Sloaters, not with this energy count. Even with Various Suit. Maybe he just wanted to farm up some power bombs. Let's see what he decides to do from here. We'll see if he takes his own refill. Nope, skips it. Yeah, I'm gonna guess that he just wanted to farm up some power bombs. It's possible that he was going to do it and then just thought better of it. And Wave Beam. So Charge, Wave, Spazer. That's always the weird combination of beams, because at 210 damage, that doesn't divide evenly into most of the bosses. So I want to say it's 86 shots for a Ridley or a Mother Brain fight, for instance.
It is kind of a weird combination because while it also has weird math, but it kind of lets you one-shot a lot of stuff in Upper Norfair without having to charge. So it adds some difficulty, but it also makes some things significantly easier that neither beam do on their own.
Yeah. It is interesting that they didn't, make it either 200 or 240 and make it divide into those 18,000 HP that Ridley and Mother Brain 2 have. Like, all the other ones divide nicely in, and this is the one combination that doesn't. Oh, and Screw Attack at Various Suit. I like to call that the ultimate luxury item. Not really necessary for everything, but it does make your Lower Norfair a lot easier. Okay, let's see if Sloaters can get himself a quick kill this time. As well as he played in his first game, he did not get a quick kill that one, so there he is making it up for it here.
See J-Ro make his way into the frog pocket for another major item. And it's an E-tank that he's going to pick up.
So where things will get a little bit interesting, Sloaters is definitely capable of doing high jump plus lava dive to get into Lower Norfair. I don't know if J-Ro does the high jump plus lava dive. So it'll be interesting to see if either one of them decides to do that, or if they check some Upper Norfair items. I do fully expect them to do parts, if not all, of Norfair at this point. J-Ro gonna check the high jump boots first.
And another E-tank at high jump boots location.
Yeah, and actually that's pretty good, because you want to have at least a little bit more energy before going into Lower Norfair, whatever the way you decide to go in there is. Sloater's going to go ahead and check the Ice Beam item first. These guys are going to need something for Meridia, some sort, either Gravity Suit or the combination of High Jump, Ice, and Grapple Beam. So they don't have any of the elements for Suitless except Spring Ball, which really doesn't do you much good until you have High Jump Boots. Oh, there's the Ice Beam, so there's a part of the Suitless combination. Before Suitless can really come into play, you would need to have High Jump Boots. It is possible that if they do get High Jump Boots, that their Gravity Suit could be at Mama Turtle, or we have seen seeds, especially during the regular season, where you get your Grapple Beam at Mama Turtle and then your Gravity Suit at Botwoon.
Have we seen any of those with the variable logic yet? I know we don't have a huge sample size.
We have seen Suitless Meridia. I'm trying to remember if any of them actually had the grapple to gravity of that, or either that or ice to gravity. Those are the two big ones that showed up in the regular season. Yeah, I actually don't remember. But we have had a decent amount of Suitless Meridia. And J-Ro's still maintaining his small lead here. I do fully expect these guys will check at least some of the locations. I don't think we'll see a full Upper North Fair clear. Maybe we'll just see Bubble Mountain. Jero making good use of that ice beam to do a jump up the right side of. Oh, working out. There we go. That's what we're talking about. Yeah, nice use of the ice beam to get up the right side of Bubble Mountain. He did manage to get a very nice right side climb in game 1 without the ice beam, so ice beam making it a little bit easier.
Yeah, and Jero's lead has increased just a bit too. He was about 5 seconds ahead coming out of Edekun's, and he's about 20 seconds.
He gets himself up to 15 power bombs. Always a good number. Well, the biggest reasons for that are already passed since they have ice beam, so they won't need it for the Metroid rooms, and they have Very Suit, so it's less likely that we'll see any Crystal Flash action. And both runners choosing not to pick up the reserve tank there. In game 1, we only end up seeing one reserve tank, so. Okay, Jay, we're heading to the wave beam next. And just an E-tank there. Yeah, I find this item set pretty interesting. I mean, if they find Gravity Suit, that would put them in go mode for sure. But also, if they find High Jump and Grapple Beam, and if Gravity Suit were, say, up in the upper part of Wreck Ship, we might see one or both these guys just choose to do Suitless Meridia, just because, you know, at that point it tends to be a little bit faster than having to check all of Wreck Ship if you're very good at Suitless Meridia. Jay, we're going to use the ice beam. Well, it was set up to use it. Now he's going to switch to the spring ball jump, it looks like. This jump is really similar to the one in the worst room of the game, so theoretically you could do a wall jump off of it. I haven't seen anyone do that. Unlike Sloaters, who we've seen do that jump in worst room of the game, I have not seen him do it here. Sloaters going to go for a spring ball jump. J-Ro did switch back to using the ice beam. And it doesn't quite get the spring ball jump on Sloater's side. So he'll set it up again. And gets it this time. Basically, with the spring ball jump, what you want to do is be still moving up. You want to turn that spring ball off, still be moving up, and then go ahead and menu, turn it back on, and you get a shot at jumping one more time.
Yeah, and wall jumping and using it's very interesting. Sometimes when you will immediately morph after a wall jump, your trajectory changes a little bit, so you can kind of like jump outward more and then spring ball up. It's very interesting.
Okay, looks like J-Ro is going down. Yep, he's going to go for that high jumpless lava dive. And looks like Sloaters is right behind him. Okay, so what the runners are going to want to do here. So J-Ro getting the bounce ball set up so far. What he's going to want to do is have this flame from the Namier head on the right, follow it and take damage from it, and use its iframes to jump up these spikes on the left side. And a couple wall jumps on the right. wall jump off the Nami head, which he missed, unfortunately, so we'll have to set up again. In the meantime, Sloaters manages to do it without any trouble. J-Road deciding to just reset because he had trouble with it. Unfortunately, that's going to put Sloaters back in the lead. We'll see if J-Road chooses to try again or if he decides to do something else. This time we are going to see the GT item, because if it's gravity or if it's high jump boots, they need it. Potentially, obviously, you want it if it's gravity, and if the seed wants you to do suitless, or if they want to choose to do suitless, they're going to need high jump boots. So if that's one of these, if it's one of those items, or even grapple beam, they're going to want to get it here. And the item is just an E-Tank. Sloater's choosing to pick it up. J-Ro going to set up for his high jumpless lava dive again. You'll notice he had to turn around a little bit to get that Namihe flame to come out. It's not going to come out unless you see the actual head. Okay. Got the... Oh, and morphed into it. That's not good. So he's going to reset again. Let's see how many tries he takes at this. Okay, J-Ro's going to give up on the high jumpless lava dive for now. I think it's probably the right call for now. We'll see. Looks like he's going to head on down to Croc. If there's progression here, like high jump to get down, high jump, or some combination of gravity and or gravity suit over here, then he should be able to catch up, because Sloaters will have to then check this. Oh, Sloaters having a little more trouble this time with this wall jump. Looks like he's going to switch over to the spring ball. And it looks like he's got it. And he does.
Well, as Sloaters does an insanely difficult trick, or gives up on an insanely difficult trick and uses spring ball jump as a backup, we do have Mr. Ranomizer on J-Ro's. So second game in a row, J-Ro visiting the Croc. And we'll see if he has anything of value in this race.
Let's hope so, because if we want a game 3, we're going to need something. Oh, there's space jump on Sloaters' side. So that space jump screw attack combination, pretty deadly for your enemies, even without the high jump boots. Unfortunately, it doesn't really help him with Suitless Meridia if that were to come to pass. He really needs high jump boots to have any to make any thoughts of doing any kind of Suitless Meridia action. Okay, this time J-Ro is going to have to gate glitch to do this. Let's check. He doesn't have speed booster or another. I think you can spring ball jump up there, but possibly not without high jump boots. So this is his better, probably his better option is just to do the gate glitch here, and he gets it fairly quickly. Oh, and there's gravity suit. So now this is still a race. This is still a race now that we see gravity suit there. Sloaters, we'll see if he goes and checks Croc or not. It's really going to depend on what these items at Ridley and Firefly are, I think. Okay, Slaughter's using a whole bunch of super missiles there. This beam combination, a standard for a new route in any percent. It's a 60 shot fight. Since super missiles are double damaged, any super missiles missed would mean 2 charge shots here. Slaughter's doing a nice job doing some ammo damage while Ridley's in that pogo stage. And now with the gravity suit, Jairo's going to have an easier time getting into Lower Norfair because he'll be able to just gravity jump in. I say that like it's a super easy trick, and it's pretty easy with high jump boots, but without high jump boots, a little trickier, but a lot easier than trying the high jumpless lava dive.
Yeah, you still have to work some wall jumps in there. Yeah, much significantly easier than high jumpless lava dive. We've got a dead Ridley on Slaughter's side.
So to correct something I said, and to correct chat a little bit, Firefly was space jump, Croc was an E-tank and gravity suit. So we have already seen Firefly, which means Slaughter's does not have the items for Suitless Meridia, which means he will probably go to Croc and pick up his gravity suit. And Jairo gets in.
I'd say there's a pretty slim chance that Sloaters decides to orphan the Ranomizer.
It wouldn't be the strangest thing we've ever seen, but yeah, I don't expect him to skip it at this point, because it's so far out of the way if you try and do it later. His only other real option at this point would be to go to the wreck ship. There are a couple other locations. There is Gauntlet, there is X-Ray, which now is opened up to him with the space jump. But I doubt he's going to go there. Oh, Jairo using ice strats to get up worst room in the game, while jumping off the frozen space pirate there.
That screw attack just doing a ton of work around the 3 musketeers.
Yeah. That screw attack is so nice to have in Lower Norfair. His value is debatable after Lower Norfair, but before Lower Norfair, absolutely a great item to have. Yep, and Sloaters does look like he's headed to Croc. Gonna farm up just a little bit first. Without Plasma, this isn't the super easy, quick fight, but anytime you have Charge Beam going into Croc and you don't have to worry about... it's not a soft lock ever at Ranomizer, but if you're using ammo only and you run out, it can get very scary very quickly.
Yeah, those projectiles aren't really the easiest thing to farm in the game.
No. Jairo bouncing his way into his Ridley fight. Sloater says, I don't want that E-tank. Seven being enough for stand-up glitch, he doesn't really need any more. Jero now using... There, Sloaters has his gravity suit. So he's in go mode now.
Yeah, and he had a little bit easier way in there with the space jump, not having the green gate.
Jero almost done with Ridley. And Ridley is down. Floater's doing a little extra farming. Probably wants to get to 10 supers for Botwoon, even though he does have the charge beam here. Just a little quicker to use supers for that. So no danger of soft lock, though.
Yeah, definitely looking to keep his supers high, also taking care of the cax on the way out. And that farm spot that he picked is the fastest one, having the most bugs come out of it before you get to...
And considering where he's coming from, it's certainly less out of the way than some of the Meridia farm spots. Now let's see if Jero checks Fire Fleas. That's a tough one. He doesn't really need anything more, but any other item he can pick up would be good. Bombs may be the least useful. Space Jump will make his movement through Meridia that much easier, especially since Space Jump works so much better in water than it does in regular air. And Sloater's is done checking things. So we're probably not going to see Speed Booster or Plasma Beam at this point. So unfortunately no microwave action today. Jero does check Fire Fleas and will pick up the Space Jump. As he makes his way out of lower Norfair. Floater setting up for the ice clip. Has no trouble with it.
Yeah, that one before Botwoon is much easier than the one into Shacktool.
Shacktool one is really hard. I've done it once.
I did it once, and I did it with the help of John in my chat and X-Ray.
Yeah. For me it was... Time. Yeah, I did not have X-Ray. For me it was Andrew helping me out in chat, so... Obviously, for neither one of us was it a league race, because that would have been illegal to look at our own chats.
Right.
Oh, and there's the grapple beam. Sloaters decides to pick it up.
A little faster kill on Dragon.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest reason to pick it up, because at this point, his options were pretty much ammo kill.
Well, and he also has to go through there. He could have gone around, but at that point, you know, the 7-second fanfare probably worth the time that you can save with Dragon.
Yeah, because his choices would have ammo. I should say ammo or charge beam or some combination thereof. And without plasma, that charge beam option isn't real good. Oh, and we get to see some of the new tech on J-Ro's side here, showing us the speedless speedway, and fortunately not soft locking on his way. I guess my understanding of it is that basically you're shooting some garbage blocks up top to somehow overload things, so that you can then tricking the game into thinking that you can go right through those other blocks. That's a very poor explanation.
Yeah, I can't do much better. I think that from what I know, it's like 15 shots
Yeah.
somewhere around there, and you have to have a combination of either Spazer and Wave or Plasma and Wave.
Yep. And just to the fact that was found only a few months ago, I want to say in January, just goes to show we have a 25-year-old game and we're still finding new tech, which I still think is pretty cool. Sloater's getting the quick grapple kill even. So yeah, that grapple beam definitely saving the more than the amount of time that it took to pick it up.
Sloater's a little upset. He went to try to get a spike suit there. Oh, he doesn't have speed. Never mind. What am I talking about? Maybe he's just upset he doesn't have speed.
Maybe. Maybe he forgot he didn't have speed for a second. Yeah, cheaty. Fantoon skip incoming. Sloater's famous for trying for the Fantoon skip in the multi-category tournament last spring. It's a little bit more than a year ago, so a little bit past the anniversary of that. Sloater's gonna just fall through that sand pit instead of doing the reverse ice clip. Unclear which is faster. Guess it depends on how good you are at the reverse ice clip, which I don't believe is any more difficult than the one forward. It's just that you just tend to practice it less often, I think. So to answer the question about out of bounds, out of bounds is not allowed. The most likely place you're going to see out of bounds would be with an X-ray climb. So X-ray climb is in logic, or not in logic. It's never in logic, but it is allowed so long as you don't go out of bounds.
I would like to go on record to say that I am extremely glad that X-ray climb is not in logic.
Yeah, I will agree with that. Although I definitely know people that would be thrilled if it was. Okay, and Sloaters does remember to go to Fantoon. And Sloater is going to get the best version of the wreck ship, the Go mode wreck ship. We won't see any checks here.
No, we won't. And I'm guessing he's about 51 pace. No speed booster, so his escape is going to take a bit longer and just maneuvering through the map into Turian, but I think he's about 51 pace.
Yeah, and a 60 shot Mother Brain 2 instead of a 20 shot.
That's true. Good point.
We'll see how much ammo he has left over to see if how much that'll supplement, but J-Ro finishing up his Fantoon fight and getting out. Yeah, unfortunately for J-Ro, those deaths at the lava dive, the high jumpless lava dive, were very costly. Had he gone to Croc first, I think we'd still have a really good race on our hands, really close race. He's not that far behind, to be honest, but at this point, it's hard to imagine the Sloaters is going to make a big enough mistake to allow him to catch up. But this is Super Metroid, and stranger things have happened. Because, yeah, J-Ro was ahead going into that lava dive. And he almost had it on his best. In fact, the closest he came was on that first try. It looks like J-Ro is going to do the reverse ice clip. Meanwhile, Sloater's finishing up Fantoon. Again, not sure which is actually faster, the reverse ice clip or going down the sand pit back into the aqueduct area. Oh, this ammo count, I don't think Sloaters is even going to stop at the ship for a refill. He's got 25 at 2510. That's more than enough to deal with the Metroid rooms.
Yeah, he's going to be able to get a lot of drops on the way, too. I like the moonfall joke, Doctor.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, just in case you're watching this on YouTube in the future, we have, if you turn off your lights in your bathroom and say Metroid 3 times while looking in your mirror, Fantoon will appear next to you. And also from the same person, if you moonfall in Super Metroid, you moonfall in real life. Okay, Sloater's heading down to Turian now. That rundown Terminator is really annoying without speed booster and with ice, I must say. Meanwhile, J-Ro gonna go into his Fantoon fight. Sloater's already taken off Screw Attack. He won't have the option of the Speed Booster Zeb Skip. He'll have to do the traditional Ice Zeb Skip. And while there is a way to use down backing to get through that without turning off Screw Attack, either Sloaters is not confident enough to try for that or just chooses not to do it. But once again, absolutely beautiful Metroid Room 1 from Sloaters.
I know he had a couple other races today, so he might be very warmed up for these races with J-Ro. I mean, he played a really good game in the first game, and he's having another stellar performance here.
Absolutely. Well, in all fairness, J-Ro is playing extremely well in this one, too. It's just that high jumpless lava dive, which is by no means an easy trick. That's why it's not in logic. It's tripping him up a little bit. And Fantoon is down for J-Ro as well. And once again, without high jump boots, not worth going for baby skip. All right. Sloater's going for his Zeb skip now. Has no trouble with it. He already turned off his Varia suit earlier, so he's already setting up for the stand-up glitch. He will have to be careful of his energy because he doesn't want to go below the 7 E-tanks. He does have energy left in his reserves, though, so he could supplement from that. Of course, doing that doesn't necessarily gain you... almost... And actually a little surprised that he's going to go for a stand-up glitch here because he doesn't have plasma beams, so the time save is not nearly as much. But I did see him menu that Varia suit off. He may have turned it back on, though, because he did menu a couple of times. J-Ro entering Turian.
I'm not sure if it's off still because he only took 20 damage from that.
Yeah, he might have turned it back on. Because I do believe he menued a second time. And J-Ro doing some grouping strats for his Metroids. And without bombs, J-Ro ends up having to use power bombs for those. Yeah, okay, there we go, that's better. I didn't quite see what happened there with J-Ro. He might have gotten caught by that first Metroid. Okay, this will tell us whether he... Yeah, he did leave that Varia suit. Interesting, he did leave that Varia suit off, but damaged himself down so he just gets the one rainbow beam. So he decided not to do stand-up glitch. And just doesn't want to take the time to menu to turn it back on. That could be deadly if you're not careful. If he had forgotten that that Varia was off, that's just death. And we've seen that happen in the league.
One of the things I found interesting about the duration of the league was I think we saw about every poor outcome as far as soft locking or messing up tricks you could see.
We've definitely seen a lot.
Sloater's on to Mother Brain 3. Metroid's, of course, poisonous, or poisoned by onion rings, so that's why that.
Sloater's finishing up Mother Brain 3. All that's left is the escape. Meanwhile, J-Ro entering his Zeb-type room, going for Zeb skip. And gets it, no problem.
Sloaters might be a bit bummed that he was missing out on high jump boots last game and high jump and speed this game to be able to do a blue bomber.
Yeah. And once again, this room without high jump boots, even with Space Jump, it's still the worst room, in my opinion, to not have high jump boots in.
Yeah, the camera and the enemies make that room just as difficult as the actual distance to the platform.
And you'll have to wall jump up on the left side, which is pretty traditional when you don't have speed booster. And Sloaters finishing up with an official SRL time of 51:11. GG to Sloaters.
Yeah, good game
Very
to
nicely
Sloter.
done.
He's going to go on to face Ponk in our finals. J-Ro is going to have a consolation 3rd and 4th place matchup with Kish.
Oh, we get to hear more of J-Ro's music now, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, this Sloaters guy is pretty good. You should follow him if you don't already. Lemon Jones. Loimian? I don't know. I give up.
Yeah, absolutely follow the runners. And you can follow us too, especially Android and Cheaty. Shout outs to Cheaty Face, our wonderful tracker. Ooh.
Okay.
I wasn't watching what was. I don't. What were you saying about? What were you just saying about? We've seen every. I don't think I've seen this soft lock before that we're seeing on J-Ro's screen right now, and unfortunately, because of it, J-Ro's gone ahead and forfeited.
That's definitely a new one.
Okay,
At least for me.
Yeah, I have not seen this one before. Okay, so we'll see what some of these items are. So let's see where that speed booster was, or where those high jump boots were. Speed booster at the reserve tank in Meridia. Ugh, no one wants to go there.
Plasma was a gauntlet.
That's interesting. So if they'd had a few more power bombs early on, they might have picked that up. Let's see. High jump at Plasma, we weren't going there for sure.
And bombs were speed locked in the rickshaw.
Yeah. So just a reminder, we don't have anything scheduled yet. There will be a finals, and hopefully sometime next weekend we'll have the finals between Ponk and Sloaters. And no, us admins did not set it up so that would happen.
Right. Of course.
And we'll have a 3rd place match between J-Ro and Kishmo, and those should both be really fun matches to watch. Both will be best 2 out of 3, and we'll have double Germany versus USA. Okay, right now we're just trying to see if anyone's going to come in for an interview. Yeah, Sloaters is going to come in as soon as we get that set up. Ah, there he is. Let's bring him in. Oh, already in. How you doing, Sloaters?
Good. How are you doing?
Great. Congratulations. You and Pong, good friends. USA versus Germany for the finals.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting. It's kind of like the last Rando tournament gala against Ponk, another U.S. Germany matchup. So that's cool.
So, what'd you think of those seeds?
Well, the first one, I was pretty nervous, of course, going down and not really finding anything, and then learning that everything was in wreck ship. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was a little nerve wracking.
Yeah, unfortunately for J-Ro, he fell down at the end of the X-ray room with the grapple beam and was not able to get back up. So he died there.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and I
Yeah,
thought maybe
that's rough.
I thought maybe he'd choose to go up instead of down after that, and if he had, I think we would have had a race. But unfortunately, he just followed the same route you did. So, at that point, your 10-minute lead is going to stay a 10-minute lead. So,
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, if he went up after that happened, I think I would still have like a good lead, but it definitely probably would have been like way
oh
closer.
yeah,
But he said that's what he was planning to do initially. So if he didn't die and did that, I'm pretty certain he would have mopped the floor with me.
yeah, that was definitely the play to go to wreck ship at that point. And remind me, did you guys have speed booster at that point? I'm trying to remember. Oh no, that was in Bubble Mountain, so no, you didn't have speed booster, so that would have been quite the gamble.
Yeah, that's right.
And then in the second one, yeah, he had a slight lead going into the high jumpless lava dive, but unfortunately, while I was describing how it worked and watching him, and he failed the first time, you just went and did it. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, he tried a couple more times and then went to Croc, and pretty much that was the lead you had. It would have been really interesting to see what happened if he had either gotten the high jumpless lava dive, or B had gone to Croc first and then come back. Again, it would have been pretty close. Again, I don't know who would have won, to be honest. It would have been fun though to see a race that would have been that close.
Yeah, honestly though, I feel like him going back to Croc after failing it, like obviously he backtracked a bit, so there was like some time lost there. But like having gravity, I'm sure he was able to be like a lot more aggressive in Lower
Yeah.
Norfair,
Mhm.
whereas I was kind of having to be more careful, and I couldn't really go in the acid. And
Yeah.
also, I was just like, checking the other stuff because I wasn't go mode yet. So it seems pretty close still at the end. So
Yeah, it was. I mean, yeah, it was. Considering those deaths, it still would have been a really good time. If still not quite sure what he did to soft lock there at the end, but something weird happened with stand up glitch, and yeah, it was. That's the reason for the forfeit. So
yeah,
hopefully that wouldn't have
when your
happened if he.
health when your
Yeah, go
health
ahead.
gets filled back up to max, the baby will like freeze wherever it's at on the screen. So if you're like too far left when that happens,
Mhm.
Mother Brain can't like actually hit the baby anymore because whenever
Yeah.
she hits the baby after that, it like kind of teleports on top of you.
Hmm.
So normally that's not really a problem, but like if you watch people do a lot of GT Classic, you'll see they have to be like really careful of that since they have the only 700 energy, so it fills up a lot faster compared to like randos or hundo or whatever.
Yeah. So yeah, we were just, in fact, we were just talking about how we've seen so many different things. And we were like, yeah, we've seen everything. No, apparently we hadn't. So,
Yeah, that's a bummer that happened.
yeah.
Yeah, good game, Sloaters. I want to ask about how you're feeling when you're playing, because I mean, for me, my perspective, you're playing really well. I just want to know how it feels when,
I mean, normally when I'm playing, I feel pretty good, except for the occasional times where I feel like I'm getting like randoed really hard, and I'm like searching the whole map for something, and it's like
Hmm.
in the last spot that I look. But in general, I've gotten pretty comfortable with like this logic, knowing what kind of sequence breaks I'm comfortable doing, and sort of how to like I don't know gauge the item density and be able to make good calls based on that. So um, in general, I feel like I've gotten pretty competent at this kind of logic and doing it efficiently most of the time.
Yeah, and I want to ask about that. So you've, I would say you've mastered that worst room in the game, wall jump without high jump, but you got it the first time very quickly, and the second time you had to resort to the spring ball jump, which is cooler anyway.
Yeah,
Have you been working on that?
I mean, sorta. Like there was one day where I like grinded it out a bit just to like sorta try to get it down, and I wouldn't want to try it like in an actual speed run or anything, but I figure when I'm like in the room and it's convenient, I'll at least give it a couple tries just for the swag points.
And convenient that you're just doing the same, wall jump off of there to get the spring ball jump. So you need
Yeah,
it's not like you have to fall all the way back down like you might if you were to switch to an IBJ or something like that.
right.
And it's still very nicely done in the first race getting that, because it's a very difficult trick.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so like I said, we got Punk coming up. And I've already said we didn't rig this. Got two admins going against each other. On the other hand, you are two of the best, so and we're the 1 and 2 seeds. So certainly looking forward to that race. Also the J-Ro Kishmo match that we'll see for the third place. So we're gonna have some very fun matches coming up. So what do you think about both of those?
Oh, I'm super excited for the match with Punk. I don't think him and I have ever gotten to face off in like a item rando tournament kind of thing. I know we did one one game in the multi-category tournament, but this will be like the first tournament race as far as randos go for us, and of course it has to be in the finals. So
Of course.
I'm
Well, that's what
also
happens when
very
you finish 1
excited.
versus 2.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go
I'm
ahead.
really excited because I lost to Sloaters and Ponk in the regular season, so at least I can sit back and say, at least I lost.
You lost to the best. I lost to Sloaters too, but that's not unusual.
No,
Considering he only lost twice the entire season in postseason, so very nicely done.
I think J-Ro and Kish are going to be a really good matchup too. I feel like they're like pretty even as far as like execution abilities, and I feel like they both have a really good handle on like the rando logic. So honestly, I'm not sure if I have like a favorite for that one, but it should be exciting either way.
Like I said, double USA versus Germany, so you're gonna
Yeah,
have to wave that flag and do it for the United States.
bring it home.
I'll do my best.
Either way, it's gonna be fun. Two really great players going at it. It's just gonna be so much fun. And really, I just hope we go 3 games. To be honest, that would just that's just what we need to see. Get 3 good games.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So yeah, we don't know when those are going to be, but look for those next weekend. both the third place match and the finals. We'll have to get those guys to go ahead and they'll schedule it with each other, and then we'll set it up. So yeah, but if you haven't already, and why haven't you? Go ahead and follow these guys. And as I said, you can go ahead and follow us too, but especially following Android Dreams and Cheaty Face. Cheaty, big shout outs to Cheaty Face doing the tracking. Actually, also a shout out to Siberian. Between the two of them, they've covered almost all of the playoff races. So big shout outs to them. We couldn't do it without you guys. Most of us suck at tracking, and you guys just do a wonderful job, and it just helps so much to have you do that. Also, shout outs to Speed Gaming for doing the restream for us in the playoffs, all the restreams in the playoffs. Shout outs to Marty, who set us up today, and to Fiesel and Kekman Shoyu, who set us up for being able to even do this on Speed Gaming. Also, if you don't already, we have our own channel. We don't know quite what we'll be doing, but we will be doing stuff in between seasons. Still working that out. And of course, when the next season starts up, a lot of our matches will be on the Randomizer League channel. So go ahead and give that a follow if you would. And anything else either you guys want to add before we close it out?
No, good game to Sloaters and J-Ro. Guys put on an awesome series for us. Thanks for joining me on commentary tonight, Tracy, and thank you, of course, Cheaty and the Speed Gaming guys. And we'll talk to you next.
All right. Anything you want to add, Sloaters?
Yeah, just good game to J-Ro. He's an excellent player. I would definitely follow that guy. He's a cool dude. And also thank you guys for doing the commentary. I look forward to watching it back.
All right. And also thank you to all of you for watching, and for those of you in chat. Always a fun time. So we'll close it out now. Look forward to seeing you for the third place match in the finals. But as always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, wherever you may be.